Hello from beautiful Montana, guys. I figured I wanted to give you guys a quick update on what I got going on, why you maybe haven't seen any welding stuff in my story. I've been concentrating on working on this piece of property I have here in Montana. I'm doing everything myself, and anything I can't do, I've been trying to barter for. This machine you see in the background, I was actually able to barter for the rental by fixing the boom. The boom was snapped in half before I got the machine, and the gentleman who owns this, Sean, was nice enough to allow me to barter with him for use of his machine. Well, we kind of ran over that time. There's 2 more cracks on this machine. So I said, hey, Sean, listen, I need the machine still. Can I weld up those 2 cracks you got on this thing in exchange for that? And he said, yeah, sure, why not? He's also been nice enough to get me some side gigs with this machine. I mean, incredibly nice guy, very lucky to have met him. So that's one of the things I've bartered for. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to barter for the well or any of the pump and all that, you know, this stuff that you see in the culvert underground. I was able to put the sign thing up, or whatever you call that thing that holds the electrical. Subscribe! But I had an electrician come out and actually put that all together for me. It was something I was gonna do myself, but I just couldn't find any information on the internet on how to do it. So I had an electrician come out, a friend of mine's friend, so that worked out good. And then this is all the dirt work I've done. I would estimate that I've moved roughly 700 yards of dirt, if I had to guesstimate. So yeah, this is where my house is gonna be, my future house / shop. I still need to do some cut-in work here. As you can see, I just cut that earlier today. It's pretty close to graded. It's about 3 inches off in spots at worst. At best, you know, 1/2 inch in some spots. At other spots, it's dead on. But I'll probably fix that with what they call pit run out here, which I'm hoping to be able to barter with the guy who has the pit run. Really nice guy as well. Behind me, you'll see my septic. I have this side still dug out so I can connect the house to it, obviously. But the leach field, which is extremely long here, 84 feet runs, 3 of them. I don't know what they think I'm going to be, how often I'm going to be shitting, but goddamn, the biggest septic system I've ever seen. In Florida, they're like 20 by 20, and the tank is 1,500 gallons, which is, again, fucking huge. But I guess it's because the soil here does not absorb water as fast, so they try to offset that with the size tank and the size of the leach field with the infiltrators. I did use an infiltrator system. They came out really good. It seems like it's been approved. I don't know. I got to talk to the sanitarian on Monday and see what he says. But I still have quite a bit of dirt to move, and I'm probably going to spread it up there on the top of my property. Up there, I'm building a future mother-in-law suite, so when my mom's older, she can move in up there. And if my dad's still kicking around, he can move in up there too if he wants to. And if they're too old to take care of themselves, I'll be able to take care of them right on my property. I mean, I did want to give them like a really high up, nice position on the property, so that way they get a beautiful view of this valley, the secondary valley, I guess I should call it. As you can see, it's a really beautiful piece of property. I was very lucky to get this about 4 years ago because, quite frankly, if it was in today's numbers, I could not afford this piece of property. I got very, very lucky. I followed my intuition, and I went out and I purchased this on a gut feeling, actually. I had the money. I went out, bought it cash after I finished that stairway job that you guys seen me do a few years ago. That's where we're at right now. Basically today I'm going to shoot grade. I'm going to go ahead and try to get this as level as I can. It's fairly level, but I don't know if you can tell in the camera. It's got some spots. But I'm going to take some pit run I found on the property. I don't know if I have enough. I'm going to spread that, try to level that instead of trying to level the clay that's here, because this clay is just hard as a rock. Very hard to cut, very hard to level. This is actually where I started, was in dirt work. I worked with my father for several years doing dirt work with him. I guess I shouldn't say started. It was one of the things that I did for a while with him. I learned all the basics. Definitely not the best guy out there, but I can get it done. It takes me way longer than a guy who does dirt every day. As I'm sure a guy who does dirt every day, it would take him way longer to weld. But yeah, so that's what I've been able to do so far. I've got help framing. Bob, the fellow I'm bartering with for the concrete, offered help putting up the outer shell of the house with me and a couple of his guys. I need to get some help putting the trusses on still. That's something that I'm out. I just paid for the trusses, extremely expensive. Lumber is through the roof right now, but because I purchased the property so cheap and I was able to barter for a lot of it, I'm still gonna be a quarter of what this would cost if you were to purchase it. I was talking to some people around here and showed them my plan, and they think that this house will be worth quite a bit of money once I'm done with it. I don't really give a damn though. I plan on dying here. Beautiful piece of property. I got all sorts of cool stuff on it. I see rattlesnakes. They actually call this hill behind me Rattlesnake Hill because I guess it has more rattlesnakes here than really most parts of Montana. I've actually probably seen about 10 on the property. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I met the rattlesnake wrangler the other day that's in the area, and he actually had 4 or 5 rattlesnakes he picked off the hill earlier that day. It's just zooming in on the cage, not the snake. There we go. This has been a lifelong dream of mine. I appreciate you guys following me on my journey, going through all this. And yeah, keep following me. I'm starting to make some great welding customers here. Hopefully I stay real busy. I want to kind of get into more of the artsy side of things. I got a couple of friends who have an art gallery up on the hill there. They said that if I wanted to bring in some art, I could display it in their gallery. And if they have that, it's like a really high-end gallery too. So I'm trying to make them a really nice piece here. Here's the piece that I'm working on right now. I don't know what made me make this giant piece of DNA that's starting to split apart, but it just felt like I needed to. So I'll show you guys that when I'm done. I'm not doing a build video on that because there's been a lot of guesstimation and like I'm using techniques I've never used before. So yeah, there's gonna be no video on that. But all right guys, let's get working on this machine. Because Sean let me borrow this machine and it's not on a rental basis, I've been greasing it daily. If somebody lets you borrow a piece of equipment, this is a little lifestyle tip for you, and they're entrusting you with an expensive piece of their equipment or even their livelihood, you need to grease it and take care of it as if it was your own, or even better, honestly, because quite frankly, the machines I have, I don't grease every day. But I'd rather make sure I take the best care of this machine that I can. Definitely wish I had a tipper to bring all this shit up here and, you know, just dump it, make it a lot quicker. But you work with what you got, do the best way you can. The reason I'm spreading this stuff up here is because I got this weird loam, I think they call this, maybe, up here. And it's not structural. This clay that I'm dumping has a little bit of rock in it, and it's a little more structural than the loam that's up here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually back dropping it. I usually like to run forward, but let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm actually running backwards and dropping it a little at a time instead of dropping it all in one pile. That way I can spread it easier. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what my life has looked like for the past month. Just dirt work, trying to figure out what the fuck I got going on here, trying to make sure the house is right the first time, trying to make friends, trying to barter, trying to work, trying to spread the word that I'm a half-assed decent welder. You know, that's basically been it. But all right, guys, I just wanted to give you this update, and if you like this video, like it. If not, I mean, you can stick something in your ass.